Alright, so we're going to try to make a navigation bar, and we're going to use kind of this W3 Schools piece. So you can see they have a really nice navigation bar that hovers and stuff like that, and this is a navigation bar at the top. So we're going to try to build something like that into our website. So what we do is we'd open up brackets, and we have our main text in this div here. We're going to make a div, and we're going to give it an ID of nav, and we're going to put our piece in there for a navigation bar. And basically what it is it's going to be a list. So I'm going to use an ordered list, and then I'm going to give some list elements. And so those list elements are going to have a link. So there's my href tag, and then I'd say something like page number 1 link. And then I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to make a page number 2 link. And so if we were to look at this as this looks right now, it's not going to look at all like we need it to. There's no style attached to it, right? This is not gonna, it doesn't look the way we want it to, and it looks nothing like this, where we have this piece at the top that we can see as I kind of scroll that nothing is moving and this is stuck there. So let's go back, and what we're basically going to do now is we're just going to style it. So we're going to use our CSS to be able to make this thing look better. So I need it linked to a style sheet, and then first thing you're going to do is in your style sheet, you're going to have something on this navigation ID that you put in. So hashtag nav, and then you're going to set the background color to be, let's say red, and then you're going to set the width to be 100%, no padding, it's on the left, and then it's fixed, the position. Let's just see what this looks like if we save everything and pull this back up. All right, now I have this red div at the top, and you can see that it's not moving here if I scroll down. Now let's see what happens if I put some more text into my index file. So here's my index file. I'm going to put some more stuff in here, more text, and then I'm going to copy that a bunch of times. And we'll see what that looks like on my website as we kind of have this more text here. So I'm going to copy a bunch, so you can imagine we have stuff you could scroll, whether that's iframe tags, whatever it is, we have a bunch more stuff. So let's go ahead and look at that. And now you can see I can scroll, and that red div at the top is not moving, right? It's fixed at the top. If I was to go back to my style sheet and I was to comment out the position fixed, you can see if I was to take that off, so get rid of that, and go back to my website. Now it goes away, right? When I scroll down, it leaves the screen. So that's not what I want for a navigation bar. So we're going to leave it in here. I gave it an arbitrary height of 50 pixels. You could set it to be whatever looks good to you. You could make it 100. It doesn't really matter. If you just want a larger navigation bar, whatever your kind of look is. Now, what you notice here is that it's covered up my main text, right? I have something up there that I'm missing. So I'm going to set this back to be 50 pixels. And I'm going to, in my index file, I'm going to give this div an ID of main text. So this is where the body of my text is going to be. I'm going to put that in there, and then in my style sheet, a way that I can make this work is to give it a margin at the top of 50 pixels. So this is 50 pixels tall. I basically put some a margin at the top of that div so that they're not going to overlap anymore. And we can see here now that that header, right, shows up. So my page starts there. I can still scroll, and my navigation bar at the top stays the same. And that's gonna work. So we have that part going. Now we just need to format these links to show up in the middle of the screen, and to be, in this case, we're going to have a horizontal navigation bar. So we go back into, it's just styles. So we go into our style sheet, and we're going to grab the ordered list in the navigation class. So what we're going to do is we're going to say there's a list style of none. We're going to align it in the center, and then we're not going to mess with the padding and margins right here, but you will play with those to get stuff spread out the right way. So if I save that, we can see that now the 1 and the 2 are gone. It's in the middle, right? And that's getting to be better. We want to get them next to each other. So if I get them next to each other, I'm going to go back to my style sheet, and I'm going to deal with those list elements, and I'm going to display them in line. So that display in line is going to bring them next to each other. So now I'm getting something that maybe looks a little bit more like a navigation bar. And then I'm going to finally, within my style sheet, I'm going to have those anchor tags, so that's the actual anchor tags, be displayed as a block. And so when I save it, I get back those pieces, and now I'm starting to build my navigation within there. Now if you pull in all the CSS that they have here, and you give it some width, and you look at those pieces, so let's say that we want to do a width of 60 pixels. Let's go back in here and we'll do a width of, let's do 100 pixels. I think we'll see a better difference. Save it, go back, and we have a value there. It doesn't look like it changed much, but we're going to play with those values. You're going to build your navigation bar, and that's going to be something that's really going to make your website start to look more like a website. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this. There's extensions that you can look at, but take your time with the initial setup, and then to make this work on all your other pages, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take this piece, right, this navigation div, and you're going to have to put it outside of the div on everything else that you had. So you would take it, let's say you're going to scratch, right? You have your current div, the division. This again is going to become this main text piece. So you would say, close that div. You'd put your navigation piece here, and you're going to then call this div, you're going to ID it as main text. That's it. Good luck.